And then we'll throw on these gloves. Attack speed increased by 25% when equipped with a one-handed weapon. So now all that damage going that fast. That's a lot of attacks going out. That's going to be great for bosses. Say you wanted to try hard mode, but you didn't want to cheat too badly. So you gave yourself an item spawner, which can give us any item we could possibly desire, which we're probably going to need if we do want to complete hard mode. So now it's really just a matter of figuring out what accessories, what weapons, what shields we want. We're definitely keeping this because this is overpowered. And I'm thinking this, generate protection shield for every single room. That way I can get a few free hits. Probably also this shield for 2 toughness, then maybe the bounty hunter for my one-handed weapon, and I'll maybe actually throw this on for now, mostly just because of that extra toughness, 3 toughness. On top of that, maybe the dwarven armor just for the defense, power, and toughness. I'll take a look at my stats and see if this is going to be something. That's all looking pretty good. Defense is already 50% damage reduction, toughness is 6. That means I take 6 less damage for every hit, and those are going to count. One of the problems I'm finding though is this. That's definitely a cheating attack speed, and I don't really want that. So maybe for now we'll try this instead, because it doesn't have a ridiculous attack speed. This is all natural. Then for a backup weapon, maybe this, just because it hits really hard and it's got great range. Alternatively, I could use the Riot Police set, which would give me 5 plus an extra 1, 6 toughness using only these 2 items, and then I'd be free to use accessories. But for now, let's see how this goes. We'll change it up if we have to. So far things are going well. I'm lucky my shield just saved me there. I was really worried that I was already taking damage. Forgot I had the shield. But the shield is worn out, so there's 9 damage from 1 hit still. So I took 9 damage instead of 15 thanks to my toughness. That's actually considerable and terrifying all at the same time. So I'm definitely going to be using my sniper rifle as much as I can be when things get close, and then I'll switch to my sword. And yes, by sword I do mean hammer. Found the very first food shop, hopefully something amazing. Nope, same old, same old. So we're probably going for defense and health mostly. Now to just remember this exists, and that's for toughness, so we're going to take one of those, which is going to replace this armor simply because that toughness is worth more to me than the defense. Our toughness is maxed out at 7 it seems. So far this setup is pretty good. It's not doing a ton of damage, but it is keeping me alive, and that's kind of what really matters in hard mode. I was wrong about the toughness. I didn't have my shield out at the time. It's 9 if I have my shield out, 7 if I have my gun out, which is still pretty good. So let's see how it does in a boss fight. Definitely kind of wishing I could find some food that's going to boost my attack speed by 30% or something, because this is going to be a slow fight. And any one of those is going to take a lot of health from me, so I'm going to be really careful not to get hit too much. Actually starting to take damage already, getting some health back when I'm hitting them, and I do actually have extra jumps, which I'm trying not to use because that's also cheating more than I would like to be. And I was starting to get lazy, so I took a little extra damage, but you get the point. Not too hard. Next boss is going to be worse. A bullet sharpener? You know what, that kind of gives me an idea. What if we take my beloved boomerang and do all sorts of things to modify it? Because it's a one-handed weapon, so we can just replace it for our hammer. Add to that a scatter bullet, which is going to split my boomerang into 3 separate boomerangs, and a magnifying glass, which is going to make them bigger and more powerful. Which should also work for my sniper rifle. Oh, that's going to be fun. How does the boomerang work? Yeah, that's going to be fun too. I like this setup. It may not be super high DPS, but we'll see how it goes. Please give me something amazing. Okay, we got 31 max health, or swap weapons. I guess we'll take max health, and I have maximum satiety anyway, so I can buy as many of these as I want. We'll buy 2 because realistically that's how many I could buy. We'll take defense innovation. Gonna kind of be interesting to see how this works. It's gonna block my view a lot of the time, which is kind of counterproductive, but I do have my shield for every room, so I can absorb a few hits without worry. And let's see how my sniper rifle is gonna work. Well, it is hitting things. When we're up close, we'll hit with all of them. I'm not really sure the sniper rifle is going to have much of a benefit because the bullets get so spread out anyway. So I suppose for some of these smaller rooms it might be great, because if I fire one enemy, it's probably going to hit others. Hey look, I found another mini-boss. Definitely not really what I wanted to come across right now. So far this is a lot easier than the last one was. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Don't know what those do, but I'm kind of paying attention to too many things all at once. This is where it'd be nice to have a really fast one-handed melee weapon. Instead, I settled for the boomerang, mostly because I was thinking about the next boss, which I'm going to need the boomerangs for because it's really hard to hit. But should be just a few more hits. I'm going to switch to my sniper rifle because I think it's going to hit harder. And we got a chest. What's going to be in the chest? An eye patch. Oh, okay. And we also unlocked Breath of the Undyne. Undine? Breath of whatever. Now we just gotta hope for a few critical hits to get our health back up to where it needs to be, and also not get hit by anything. Might have to start raising my critical hit chance, because I should be getting more than what I am. It would be nice at the very least. But you know what? We earned it. Let's go for crit chance, plus critical damage. Not really sure which one of my weapons is going to be better here. This boss is always kind of a nightmare, so you know what? We'll try both. It's mostly because of things like this, where like I have to attack multiple angles and they move and things hit me. Alright, that's not working super well, so let's try the sniper rifle. It's working a little better. It's quicker at least, probably more damage. I'm not really sure it's more damage overall at this point. Taking pretty big chunks of its health off though, maybe like 1/15 at a time. And we're losing health very quickly, so this isn't really an optimal build clearly for fighting the boss. Even when I cheat and grab whatever items I want, I still can't come up with a good build. Ooh, we're almost dead. Whoop, almost dead again. We're not there yet though, don't worry. We'll make it. Whoop, don't hit that. And there we go. Little timeout for the boss, and yeah, we're going to change up our build after this boss fight. Whoops. Okay, so we still legitimately died in hard mode with whatever items we want to have on our body. One of the big problems is we're not doing a ton of damage and we're not doing a ton of critical hits, so that's what we're going to adjust after this. Also, that was just painfully slow. I'm okay with things taking a while, but not that long. This is going to feel kind of weird, but let's throw away a whole bunch of stuff. I'm thinking Muramasa might actually be the answer to my problem, because 5.41 attack per second is crazy fast. 7 to 10 damage with 20 crit chance. That's going to keep me alive. Add to that some Samurai Soul for a 30% attack speed increase. And then maybe we'll be getting somewhere. We just need one more accessory to maybe boost attack speed or damage. Wing boots do actually give me a 20% attack speed. I'm going to buy those for now in case I can't find something better. This is extra critical damage and chance. So let's see how this goes. The damage is pretty good. Things aren't getting killed. Doing lots of critical hits for healing. This might be the winning ticket for now. We'll give it a try. The food shop may have something we need. Nope, it most certainly does not. So we'll go for a critical chance and damage. Yeah. I guess it would make sense to have different builds, one for clearing out rooms and another for bosses. This does seem to be a nice combination because my shield keeps me safe anyway for the first few hits. Maybe I don't need a lot of toughness, at least not until the bosses. Really wish I could cheat in my choice of food. Could really have some fun with that. Anyways, defense evasion. And it's time for a good old-fashioned boss fight. This is usually actually one of the easier bosses, and I don't think this is going to be any exception today. Basically, just keep moving so the little guys don't hit you too much and focus on Big Boy. He's definitely not dying in a hurry. We are doing quite a bit of damage, but you know what? This is hard mode, so things are going to take a while. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, jump around, hit him a lot, took 25 damage in the process. Which rewards me with a gun, a Magnum. That's not actually too bad. You know what? I do need that health. I lied. Now that we're here in the lava zone, it might be fun to play with some of the sets I've never seen before. I might try one of those on next. I've really got to remember to let my shields recharge every room. Food shop, come on, attack speed. 21.5% attack speed. Oh, and an additional accessory slot. These two on a normal run would be insane. Okay, cool. That's actually huge for me. But now it's a tough decision of what do we put in spot number 5. I'm kind of thinking this for now because 3 toughness plus everything else is going to help keep me alive, give me a little bit of everything really. Plus my attack speed now, 20% faster. I've always been curious about this set because it has a Rapier of Super Speed, which is legendary, and then this, which is 1 tier below legendary. After painfully finding those items, we can put them on, and then we get to see 3 additional hits when peak speed reached. An additional 2 fireballs. Interesting. That's a mighty fine attack speed. Its damage is definitely less, but not by much. And with all those attacks, that might be brilliant for a boss. We're going to try this a little bit. So I feel like I'm maybe not going to like it a ton. Whoops. But it might actually be pretty good. I think it's going to be really good for bosses. Plus, it's also one-handed, so we can add some damage to its offhand, I'm pretty sure. Or some toughness, but I'm kind of feeling glass cannon right now. And then I can also get rid of Samurai Soul and put something better there. So if I use a demon hand on my offhand, that's going to add 50 power. It's going to take away 2 minimum damage, but add 5 max damage. Think of all those hits and how much damage that is. And then we'll throw on these gloves. Attack speed increased by 25% when equipped with a one-handed weapon. So now all that damage going that fast. That's a lot of attacks going out. That's going to be great for bosses. And probably everything else. They should die mostly right as they walk into me. Yeah, so far so good. I do kind of like the fact I can just walk into things and they kind of die before I can even deal with them. Alright, boss fight time. Let's make sure our shields are charged and have a max hitting capacity. This should go pretty quickly. So I've said that before, but yeah, so far his health is dropping pretty quick considering this is hard mode. He's already down to half health. And he's doing his thing. That's fine. Just got to build up a few attacks to get myself back to max speed. Wow, he's actually doing lots of damage. Normally, this boss isn't a challenge at all, but hard mode, everything's hard, but that was a ton of damage. Wow, that's actually a really good find for just a boss chest. I've also always wondered about this set, if that's like a life-giving set or something, so let's find all the red items, the bloodstone items. Apparently I was defeated. I didn't do anything. Wait, no, I'm gonna alt F4 this. What? Why did I die? Did the game know I was cheating? I was in the item spawner trying to find an item and suddenly it said I was defeated. I was just standing there right in the spawning location of that dungeon. Anyways, the heliotrope set, as I was saying, recover half an HP each time you attack with your weapon, which is actually really huge. Like, you're healing pretty big at that point. The downside is you won't do a ton of damage and you're only going to heal so much while taking lots of damage. But let's see how this goes. So if I was to say storm into a bunch of monsters, my damage is pretty good. But as soon as they start hitting me, I think it's going to fall apart pretty quickly because yeah, even those things there's half my health already. So this would be good, but it's not enough to heal through all the damage. So let's go back to our set of super speed and I'm going to march right back to where I was before. Just probably with less attack speed from the food shop. Look at the speed, the damage difference though from last time to this time. This is kind of a more fun build just based on that damage. Found another mini boss along the way. I suspect I won't really be able to hold up to my damage. Nothing really seems to be able to. Even the bosses are dying pretty quick. I'm not even sure which one is the mini boss. Oh, there you are. So there we go. As long as I'm hitting them, they're dying. Perfect. And a red chest this time. What do we get? Tactical baton. I actually think the mini boss was harder than the real boss because I'm killing him way faster. Like, he's already dead. Anyways, we made it all the way back here. So let's see how this weapon setup compares to this dungeon. So far, so good. Same thing as always, just kind of walking through things. And the food shop here hopefully has something, nothing. If I do come across a room where I get a little bit lazy, I can take a lot of damage. It does really add up quickly. Most rooms, though, aren't really that bad. As long as I kind of see what I'm doing and don't get hit by too many things, then I'm just fine. Like, normally even these dogs are a huge problem, but they can't really get to me right now. So let's be incredibly stupid and jump into the boss with 49 health. This also isn't really one you can tank through because it's going to go invulnerable at times, but you know what? I'm going to go for it anyway. Gonna try and dodge things as best I can, but yeah, that didn't go very well. We took about a quarter of its health off. Luckily for me, definitely not cheating at all, have infinite revives. And I mean, while I am alive and hitting it, I'm doing a ton of damage. I'm melting that thing, and it's hard mode. And it's dead. We're doing like 13 damage critical hits, but we're doing so many of them, it's adding up. Which kind of makes me wonder, how much damage can we do in a single hit? Kind of nervous the game is going to kick me out if I start looking through items now though. Well, this one's definitely the most damage of any of the weapons. It does a flat 70, but one way heals, the other way damages. So let's try it. That's going to be a disaster. This is going to actually take coordination from my part. White heals, red hurts. I'm hoping with whatever accessories we add though, nothing's going to survive past the first hit. One thing we're going to add for sure is Dice God's Trick because 30 critical chance, 40% critical damage. That's huge. Wing Boots give us 20% attack speed, plus the Daisy Ring gives us 5 defense, 4 power, 10% attack speed, 7% critical damage. So it's not necessarily the quickest, but it's going to do the damage I needed it to do. Just really got to remember not to hit things the wrong way. Okay, that didn't do a ton of damage. I was hoping this thing would destroy things. There's 119 for a critical hit. That's not actually that high. So far, this isn't working at all. I thought I would be destroying things, but I'm this. To be fair, this setup had good intentions. It just doesn't perform very well at all. Because, yeah, I gotta turn my back every few seconds and they do that much damage to me. And then when there's this much going on this screen, like, I can't be able to maneuver so I can swing the wrong way. It was a fun experiment, but we're going back to this super speed attack. This is much better. Plus, it heals me as I go instead of kills me. Who would have thought, though, the build that heals me and not the enemies is the one that works better? Well, I mean, your true damage can't hurt. Hopefully not. Even with this absurd build, I'm still dying way more than I should be, just because everything hurts so bad. But I am a glass cannon, so that's to be expected. Something neutral would work better if I had more, you know, toughness and defense, but then I wouldn't be able to kill things very quickly, and this would take forever. I suspect my friend here won't put up too much of a fight. He usually goes down pretty easy as long as I'm doing some damage, and I feel like I probably am. Whoops. But if I'm able to jump up and down above his head, he has trouble hitting me, so I can really chain together my attacks. And then his little friends are spawning stuff very quickly because it's hard mode, but they're dead. Now back to business. Yeah, the glass cannon's fun and all, but this would not at all be practical if I wasn't cheating. I would have been dead a million times over and restarting the run. How much damage do those things do? Those black slashes, these? Every time I touch those, I basically die. I'm genuinely curious as to how much damage they actually do, because it's absurd. This will hopefully be my final death because he's got little over 1/3 of his health left. And as long as I stop touching those and get some clean hits on him, he'll be dead. Whoops. A couple more hits, and I think that was him. Anyone who's ever beaten that legitimately on hard mode, good work. You earned it. I did notice this as I was scanning through items. Red pickaxe, 5 to 15 damage, but 5.56 attacks per second. That's even better than the one katana. It definitely has a pretty fast attack speed, so I might see if I can add some stuff to this to make it really good. Like the Dice God's Trick again, because all that critical damage and critical chance is gonna be a big deal. Then maybe let's just throw the Daisy Ring back in for more power and critical damage again. That's probably doing plenty of damage. We'll go see what this does to the boss. I'm just looking for boss fights, because with my super rapier, if I got hit, I would have to restart my attack speed, and it got pretty slow again for a while. With this, it's more consistent. She legitimately one-shotted me, but you know what? We're okay. Yeah, they're doing way too much damage. This would be like impossible without cheating. I thought at least like having access to whatever items I wanted would make this doable, but you know what? It would just be incredibly hard. I would still need to practice for many, many hours. And probably also not be super tired because it's late at night. And at this point, I'm thinking defense probably would be more important than toughness because it would actually be taking more damage away. Because you could have 7 toughness, 9 toughness at most kind of thing. That's going to save you 9 damage. She's hitting for like 90, so you know what? She's still gonna hit for 81 damage. You might as well just go for defense and get a 75% reduction, which could actually save you close to 75 damage. I can take off approximately 1/7 of her health before she kills me, and that's on a good run. This weapon is pretty fun though. It's very quick and still doing some pretty decent damage, so you combine this with the right things, you might have something going on. Couple more hits and she's done. Well, that was interesting. Again, I thought it would actually be somewhat easy or at least doable with my pick of whatever items I wanted. It's not. It's still incredibly hard. So, cool.